Sinai Chicago is on a mission to care for those in need on Chicago's west and southwest sides, and this Giving Tuesday, you can help.
Here to share how you can get involved is Dr. Ngozi Ezike and Rebecca Garrett. Welcome to you both. Okay, Rebecca, you're the director of Major Gifts. We're going to talk to you in just a minute. But first, Doctor, tell us a little bit about Sinai Chicago's mission.
Oh, yeah. Sinai Chicago's mission is something I think everyone can get behind. We basically are there to serve the most vulnerable communities in the city of Chicago, and we take care of everyone regardless of their ability to pay. And so that makes us this incredible safety net. If you think of what a safety net is, just holding people that in their times of need. And that's exactly what we have been doing in terms of taking care of the sickest communities, the most under-resourced communities, and making sure that they have not just the medicines and the doctor's care, but all the wraparound services that are needed to really support and promote health.
And to provide that care, to be a safety net hospital, what kind of challenges are you facing with that?
They're very real.
Yeah,
I bet a lot too, right?
Financial major.
Literally the mission to take care of everyone regardless of their ability to pay, being anchored in communities where 22% of the individuals are living below the poverty line. The mission doesn't add up with the financial realities of taking care. And so that's where philanthropy and support from other entities really comes in to make a big difference, to fill the hole. I call people who support us like gap fillers, fill those gaps that are so present and so needed to be filled.
Yeah. And beyond that too, there's a lot of work that's just happening on the ground too. And an example of that is the diaper bank program. Tell us how that works.
Yeah, no, the diaper, we deliver maybe 1,600 babies a year at Sinai. Aww. And so, something as basic as diapers is an important need for a young family with that new baby, because if you don't change the baby often enough, you can imagine the rashes, the infections that can ensue. And so being able to give all of the babies that are born at Sinai a year's worth of free diapers is something that we provide because we know how critical that is and we know how much those families need that.
That is unbelievable as a mother to be able to walk out of a hospital knowing that that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Right. And that's your goal, right? Just to give people more of a peace of mind. What do the donations do for people?
Absolutely. I mean, philanthropy at Sinai Chicago makes so much possible, both at Sinai and for the communities who we serve. You heard Dr. Ezike talk about some of the really harsh financial realities that we're up against. And she's right, philanthropy helps us fill those gaps. And so, we provide $50 million of uncompensated care every year, charity care, to folks who come to us who would be turned away at other systems because they can't pay for the care we need, right? Philanthropy helps us fill that gap. It helps support these incredible wraparound programs like the Diaper Bank that help our families thrive and stay healthy outside of the hospital walls.
And I'm sure that makes donating to Sinai Chicago, I mean, it's the person that's donating can feel good that their money is definitely going towards an incredible.
Our donors are the most incredible people in the world. And a lot of philanthropy officers will tell you this, but for us, it's true.
It's real.
No, I mean, they believe, like we do, that your income, your insurance status, your zip code should not determine whether or not you can access the highest quality of healthcare, should not determine whether or not you have the opportunity to be healthy and thrive, right? And so by investing in Sinai Chicago, they're moving the needle on this for our whole city.
How does it work then? If anybody watching is interested in helping, are you taking diaper donations or is it monetary?
Absolutely. So it's monetary donations. Because we are a hospital, we can buy the diapers at a huge discount directly from the suppliers. And so a donation of as little as $40 can actually diaper a baby for an entire year.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
Wait a minute. Because, I mean, to buy diapers for an entire year, that costs way more than $40.
Way more. $1,000 can diaper 25 babies for a year. So really the smallest donations can make the biggest difference. There's a QR code on your screen right now. That's going to take you directly to a Giving Tuesday specific page. You can learn more about the program. And make your gift. I really, as you said, as a mom of a little guy, I can't imagine a better way to provide some comfort and relief to a new family, this holiday season.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca and Dr. Ezike. Really appreciate you being with us.